City News on TV Rotorua is proudly brought to you by Trade Central.
Tēnā koutou katoa. Tonight on City News, police are thanking road users for making it a safer Easter weekend on the roads. Rehearsals are underway for John Paul College's production of Beauty and the Beast, and Mitch McCann has been awarded the Bay of Plenty Cricket Player of the Year. Police are thanking New Zealand road users for making it a safer Easter weekend on the roads, with provisional figures showing just one fatality over the break. That person died on Sunday following a crash near Lake Pukaki in Canterbury. It's the second ever lowest Easter road toll on record, following the 0 deaths achieved in 2012. Road Policing National Operations Manager Inspector Peter McKinney says while the one death recorded this Easter is a tragedy, it's heartening to know that no other families have been left grieving. Inspector McKinney says overall road users seem to be getting the road safety message. He says the challenge now is to keep momentum going throughout the rest of the year and make it a record low road toll for all of 2015. Well, the billboards are up and John Paul College actors and singers have started rehearsing for their upcoming performance of Beauty and the Beast. The Disney smash hit is set to grace the stage in May. Production manager Candy Visser says Beauty and the Beast is a great production that will entrance audiences of all ages.
Candy, now you've got quite a unique background. You are from John Paul College, aren't you?
I am. I spent some glorious years here, mostly in the drama room, so it's lovely to come back and be able to give back to the students like I was given. So
now Beauty and the Beast, how exciting.
Yes, it's really exciting. It's such a lovely story and it really just brings an audience for everyone. You've got your young students and young people that can come along all the way up, and it just brings such a lovely story for everyone.
Costumings, tell me about the costumes.
The costumes are absolutely fabulous, and we couldn't have done this show if we didn't have the costumes that we have. They're all the authentic costumes, and they've been peddled around the country for all the different Beauty and the Beast shows. We got them from the Christchurch Santa Parade and also from Showbiz down there, so they've come far.
Look, I'd like to meet a couple of your characters. I was wondering if you've got a couple about for me that I can meet.
Definitely. We've got our Beast and we've got Belle, one of our main people, so yeah.
Nice, I'll go meet them now. So how much practice do you put in?
A couple of rehearsals every week, and so it's all right, but we're just slowly getting through it and schoolwork, and yeah.
It's a huge commitment, would you say?
It is.
So you must be running on passion.
Yeah, it's a good.
It's good?
Yeah, it's very good.
Nice. And I take it you're not Belle, you must be the Beast.
The Beast, yes. I'm the Beast. Yeah, it's very exciting. Yeah.
And what's your name?
My name's Famalifi Simontafa, also known as Ifi.
Ifi?
Yeah, Ifi, around school, yeah.
How did you get involved with the production?
Really, I wanted to try something new, apart from rugby and all those other sports. So I auditioned and thought, see how it goes.
The first shipment of this year's funded influenza vaccine has arrived and is being distributed to general practices. Chief Medical Officer at the Ministry of Health, Dr Don Mackey, says the Ministry's aim is to immunise more than 1.2 million New Zealanders against influenza over the course of the flu season. Dr Mackey says the first shipment will be targeted at those with serious health conditions and pregnant women, followed by healthy people aged 65 and over. And he says community pharmacist vaccinators will also play an important role again this year in making the vaccine more accessible to more people aged between 18 and 65. In sport tonight, to the weekend's local rugby results, and the Premier teams continue to dominate the first graders in the local competition, taking out all three Easter weekend matches. Whakarewa beat Marist St Michael's 57-0, Rotorua beat Kahukura 52-9, and Waikiki took out Nongataha 56-13. Some big scores there. In cricket news, and Mitch McCann has been awarded the Bay of Plenty Cricket Player of the Year, with judges citing the all-rounder's performance throughout the season. Black Cap batting star Kane Williamson was awarded the Bay of Plenty First Class Player of the Year trophy. And for the second year in a row, the Bay of Plenty Women's Player of the Year trophy was presented to Kate Anderson. And of course, congratulations to all our award-winning cricket players. Bit of a break now and back for next season, I guess. And by the way, for a full rundown of last week's winners, you can visit BOP Cricket, one word, bocricket.co.nz. To your weather update now. Tonight, evening drizzle with northerlies and an overnight low of 15. Tomorrow for Wednesday, rain at times, northwesterly breezes, a high of 20 and a low of 17. And looking forward to Thursday, periods of rain, northwesterly breezes, a high of 20 and a low of 16. And out on the lake, the marine forecast for Lake Rotorua for Wednesday, northeasterlies to 10 knots, rising to 15 knots in the morning, waves less than half a metre, fair visibility and patchy drizzle. And still to come tonight on City News, we talk with Rotorua Single Speed President Gary Sullivan. We report on the Rotorua Girls High School creche, and Melanie visits the new technical block at John Paul College.
City News on TV Rotorua is proudly brought to you by Trade Central.
Kia ora Rotorua, have you been suddenly inspired to become a mountain biking enthusiast, some sort of enthusiast of any kind that has two wheels underneath you? Listen to this. We have a new society that has opened up here in Rotorua, the Single Speed Society, and standing next to me is the president of that. You can call him Gaz. He said I can call him Gaz, so thank you so very much for having us.
Thank you.
Now let's talk about the society for a second. What inspired you to start a club like this?
A whole group of people were riding bikes with one gear because they're easy to maintain and good for riding in winter and good for training, and we thought it would be fun to have an event based around bikes with one gear. So we formed a society. It's actually 6 or 7 years ago, and I became the president by missing 5 committee meetings in a row. And the events we started running would be 2007, I think, 2008. We ran a national championship and attracted a couple of hundred riders, and we were really surprised by that support, so we did another one. And then in 2010 we secured the World Championship for single speeds, and that's an event that attracted nearly 1,000 riders from 35 countries, because Rotorua is such a renowned place for mountain biking that when people learned that the single speed worlds were here, they came. And that gave the society a real incentive to keep going. And so since then we've run another couple of national championships. We share it around every second year, comes back to Rotorua. We get Australians coming in. It's really cool. And this year we're having our championship on Anzac weekend. That's traditional for us, but we're calling it the Anzac Centenary Single Speed Championship. And yeah, we're really excited to be hosting it.
Very cool. Sounds like a wonderful event. How many members have you got currently a part of the society?
Everybody who enters our races becomes a member, so it's probably around 250, 300 at present.
And there's still space for people who would like to get into the sport?
Oh yeah, there's huge forest, plenty of room.
And so what started the sport? How was it inspired? Why single speed?
Because they're easy to maintain. With the normal mountain bike that's got anywhere from 11 to 27 gears, you've got a little gear system that needs cleaning and maintaining and lubricating, and they wear out in winter. And a one-speed bike has a much simpler drivetrain, and so they last longer and don't need as much work. And so for winter they're awesome, and that's where they got started. Also, some people just like the idea of torturing themselves. And on a single speed, you're never in the right gear. That's right. You know,
Yeah.
And so it's hard, and that's attractive to some people.
That's the first thought that come to my mind. I heard you blah, blah, blah maintenance, but I was thinking, gosh, uphill, uphill, uphill.
Yeah, uphill, uphill, uphill. And when you're going downhill, you have to pedal too fast. When you're going uphill, it's too slow. But it's fun.
It sounds like fun.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so let's talk about this bike you've got in front of us. You've got a demo bike. Can you tell us exactly what this bike is? I know it's a Shirley, but it's got quite a funny name, isn't it?
Yep, this is a Surly Karate Monkey. Mm-hmm. It is a completely customised one-off bike. There's not another one like it on the planet. We took a standard Surly that was, the company Surly Bicycles helped us into the bike, We had it custom painted and completely assembled with, the best gear we could for single speed racing. And between Enzo Ride Central, Surly and the Rotorua Single Speed Society, we've put this bike together and we're giving it away to one lucky winner who will be, drawn out of a hat. I'm not sure how we're going to do it, but somehow we'll choose a correct winner and someone will ride off on this bike.
And so how do you get into the draw?
You enter the race.
You enter the race and you get to win this bike right in front of me. I must say it's quite a nice looking bike.
It's lovely. I'd like to win it, but I don't know if I'm eligible. To enter the race, you just have to go to my website, enzoactive.com. You can enter there. Everyone gets a entry to the race, a t-shirt and free breakfast at the Pig and Whistle. Pig and Whistle is a really generous supporter of the event and has been since we started. And we have all our kind of functions at the Pig. You register there, you have a party there afterwards, and breakfast in the morning.
And for more information, should people come down here to Enzo on Omaha Street?
We've got information about anything you would like to know about mountain biking, including the single speeds. So we've set this place up to have all of the people in here ride the forest all the time. A couple of us have been riding in there since before they started building trails. And so anything you want to know about riding in Rotorua, you can find out here.
There you have it. So just for our audience out there, maybe they didn't catch what date this event is going to be coming up and they need to get some heads up on it. When will it be?
It's Anzac Day. So
it's Anzac Day.
Well, maybe the day after. It's on that weekend anyway.
Sport.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people dress up in stupid outfits. I don't know why. There's also a element of beer drinking usually introduced into the event. I can't be too sure about how that's going to pan out this year, but usually there's shortcuts in the course, and if you take the shortcut, you have to drink a beer, which makes the shortcut kind of become less and less advantageous as the race goes on, as you can imagine. It's a good thing to come out and watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's got a special name, hasn't it, this event? Got Anzac in it.
Yeah, it's got Anzac in it, which we actually have had discussions with the ministry who own the word, but they've been cooperative and it's all good.
Well, thank you so very much for your time. Anything else to add?
No, I think we've covered everything.
Yeah, perfect. Well, there you have it, Rotorua, a great spectator sport, especially if you like a few brewskis, but keep it on the quiet. And here you go, come speak to Gazza before this weekend down here at Enzo, Omaha Street. Kia ora Rotorua, and thank you very much for joining us. Now we know that high school and intermediate, they're there to cater for our children's needs, especially those around that age group. And then we have ECE, which is early childhood education, which caters for our younger children. But how is it that two of them blend together, and how is it that they mix? Well, we're going to talk now with Sue, who is the supervisor here at the Rotorua Girls High School Childcare Centre. Thank you so much for having us, Sue.
Kia ora, welcome to you too, Melanie.
Now, it's a really unique centre, isn't it, Sue?
It is, we're a very unique centre. Our location being here right on Rotorua Girls High School grounds, in between the high school and Malfoy Primary School.
How was it that it got started?
Well, a long time ago, almost 30 years ago now. Originally it was set up by the then principal to cater for teachers and their children. So it enabled teachers to return to work. And so from there, it's just been a blossoming little secret in our community.
Now, it's not a business, is it? It's actually run by a charitable trust.
It is. We're a community-based service, and so our board comprise of the principal of the high school as our service provider contact person. So there's that continuity between the school and the service, because principals usually stay for a number of years, and so you're able to maintain that relationship and work ethic. And then we also have a chairperson and a board of parent representatives. So they drive the community here, and they have a say just, for their children, not only on a board but as parents.
Very cool, very cool. So is it okay if I can meet some of your staff?
It is.
Okay, let's go do that. So I've found now Sharon, who is the Assistant Supervisor for the Childcare Centre. Sharon, what is it in your curriculum that you find is really important?
Well, we base our curriculum around whakawhanaungatanga, which is the relationships that children form, and that becomes a really important aspect of their learning. So they have the relationships with their key teachers and relationships with the learning environment. And here we like to try and provide a learning environment that has a whole host of learning experiences, and through those relationships children are guided to extend on the things that interest them. Yeah.
So with school curriculum in itself, is it just that you're picking an aspect of it that is important and unique to your centre?
We do have a larger focus on relationships, but of course we use the whole curriculum Te Whāriki throughout every day and what's happening in the centre for all children. It's all weaved into the whakawhanaungatanga.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So not only does the centre support parents and staff of the high school that caters for the children, but also they support the staff here. Nina is a teacher here. Nina, tell me about your unique story.
I came to the centre in 2008 as a relieving teacher. I was doing my studies with Te Rito Maioha here in Rotorua. I was halfway through my second year when I came to do my relieving work at the centre, and Sue and Sharon, who have been here for a long time, were very supportive with my studies. We had to do some work experience that could be voluntary or paid. I worked in both those roles before becoming fully employed at the end of my diploma. And then when I went back to do my degree, they also supported me by letting me work part-time so that I could complete my studies. And then when I completed that, I took on a full-time role as a teacher. So this is my 6th year here now.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you very much, Nina.
Thank you.
So we've come full circle now. We've done staff, the making of the childcare centre, but here we go, standing next to me, a parent who is also a teacher at Rotorua Girls High School. Carolyn, thank you very much for having a quick word with us. Can you please just tell me, was the transition back to work made easier because of this childcare centre?
Oh, definitely. I mean, the location of the daycare for me makes it so much easier. I can be at school, and if the wind's blowing in the right direction, you know, I can hear my child screaming down here, and so it's quite reassuring knowing that he's or that both of them are nearby if I need to pop over and see them, or if they need me. So that's good for me as a mum, working mum.
Absolutely good for you as a mum. So what are some of the benefits been for you personally? Have you been able to pop down on the occasion?
Yeah, definitely. I'll pop down. When they first started out, I would pop down, you know, at lunchtimes and see how they were going. I know other staff, you know, regularly come down at lunchtimes, so it's been really great having it here for us. So that's been the biggest thing, is that close proximity to them. Although, you know, ideally you'd want to be at home with them as much as you can, but if you can't be, then that's the next best thing, is having them on site and just across the field from Girls High.
Absolutely, of course that would be a better thing. So if it wasn't this way for you, could you imagine some of the challenges you would have had to face?
Just you know, in the mornings it's such a busy time getting 2 children off to school, and then, you know, thinking that you have to rush halfway across town to find quality childcare education, where, you know, here is a fantastic facility. And the biggest thing with this facility is that the staff have been here for, you know, 20 odd years, and Sue travels from Tauranga to be here every day. That really speaks volume for us, that it's a quality daycare for our kids, so that's important.
Very nice. So thank you very much for your time, Carolyn. It's been a pleasure and good to see this going full circle.
Kia ora.
Kia ora. thank you for joining us, Rotorua. Today we are at John Paul College speaking with the Deputy Principal, Marie Stewart. Thank you so very much for having us, Marie.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely, it's our pleasure. So behind us you can see a beautiful new building which was opened when?
On the 16th of February this year, and we're very proud of the development.
It is a very, very stunning looking building. Now it's named Bishop Dennis Brown Centre. Why is that?
Bishop Dennis Brown is the recently retired Bishop of the Hamilton Diocese, and he has been instrumental in many of the progressive buildings that we have here at John Paul College, and we felt it was fitting as he was retiring to name our most recent building after him.
So what's the building used for?
The building houses our technology and arts curriculum subjects mainly. Other general purpose subjects are also taught there. So we've got metalwork, woodwork, graphics, photography and art.
Now it must have been a bit of quite a while for it to be made, and so how long was the process?
It replaced existing buildings, so from demolition to opening was over 2 years, just about 2.5 years.
How many rooms have you got in there?
We've got 9 teaching spaces, big workshops, and as well as that faculty offices and offices for the teachers in the building.
Did you have a nice lovely opening for the building itself?
We did. It was a very proud day. We had our investiture mass which we incorporated with the opening of the building. Bishop Dennis officiated at the Mass, and then a group of officials including our mayor, members of religious orders, teaching staff from in the building came through and did a ribbon cutting ceremony, and Bishop went through and blessed all the building, all the rooms.
There must be quite a lot of people to thank for this building, would you say?
We certainly is, and obviously very grateful to the Hamilton Diocese for their input, and Bishop Dennis has been instrumental in that. Also the construction company that we work with, Renane's Construction, were fantastic to work with, and of course our teachers here who for 2 years didn't have good teaching spaces, and so I'd really appreciate our staff and the work they put in to developing the building.
So how has this new building positively influenced the education here?
The students are very enthusiastic about their lessons being in the new rooms. The resources are obviously modern and up to date, the teaching materials, the furniture, and it's just raised that level of enthusiasm for those subjects too.
Absolutely, I can understand that completely. So now when we look at this beautiful big building, how long do you think it's going to last for?
Forever, many years, longer than me.
many years. So I can see right up there in the corner of the building a beautiful piece of stained glass. Can you just talk about that?
Certainly, this stained glass window on this end of the walkway is dedicated to Eucharist, which of course is central to our Catholic faith, where Christ gave his blessed the bread and wine and changed it into the body and blood of. And at the far end is also another stained glass window dedicated to Mary, whom Robert Young, who was a director of our previous productions, had a great love for, and so that is in honour of Robert Young, who'd passed away last year.
In honour of Robert Young. Now, previous productions, I hear that you've got one coming up shortly.
We have. Beauty and the Beast will be on stage in May at the Sir Howard Morrison Performing Arts Centre. And we look forward to all of Rotorua coming to see it. And we have had other productions, Les Miserables, Joseph, All Shook Up was our latest one that Robert was involved with.
Anything else interesting and new coming up for John Paul College this year?
We are hoping to develop a performing arts centre over on what we call our McKillop campus, which was the girls' college before John Paul integrated and became a co-ed, and we're developing drama, music and art facilities over there, probably next year.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, you're welcome.
And that was Marie Stewart, Deputy Principal at John Paul College, talking with Melanie Groves. And if you have a news story we'd love to hear from, you can call the station on 0734 88984 or email news@tvrotorua.co.nz. Thanks for watching and having us at your place. From all the team here at City News, from Moriae.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
City News on TV Rotorua was proudly brought to you by Trade Central.